and welcome to our Kefirko sourdough courses. This is our fourth course, and we meet again tomorrow for the last course. Today we will talk about sweet sourdough, and tomorrow to finish off with gluten-free. So let's enjoy this webinar with Anita Schumer.
Warmest sour-tastic greetings. Perhaps we could say now it's our fourth journey, fourth session, and thank you very much for your lovely feedback. I receive Urshka kindly sent to me all your really lovely words, and they truly warm my heart. What I do with love and passion for more than 11 years now. My love for sourdough is bubbling and fermenting and rising day by day. So thank you so much that we can share this sour-tastic journey together. So today's session will be all about sweet baking. My starter is bubbling. Let me show you this beauty. Ta-da-da! And it's ready to be used. Oh gosh, look this. Oh yeah. Let me just open the Q&A here and our chat, Urshka. Cool. No questions yet. All right. Well, if you have any questions, you know the I'm boiling some water for bain-marie to melt the chocolate. Oh, because today we're gonna do some sourdough brownies. So it's one of my favorite recipes, and you also get the link to the recipe. It will be posted also on the Kefirko website, and it's also on my website. So have a look and join me today for the preparation, so you see how sourdough is truly so versatile that you can use it, well, in nearly everything. So you've seen the bubbly starter. Let me know in the comments if you have also activated the starter, if you made your own starter. How is it rising? How is it going? Is it alive? And also, let me know if you have already baked something and used the bits of knowledge I gave you in those sessions. So I would love to read also about that. So type in the comments and let me know how has it been going since we started our sessions. All right. So I said sourdough brownies with lots and lots of chocolate. I have the recipe on my website. I need to check because there have been so many recipes I've developed that it's good to just check to be sure. So here is the starter I prepared, and for the starter I used 30 grams of my active bubbly sourdough starter, and then I added 130 grams of all-purpose flour, or T500 if you're in Europe, and 100 grams of water. However, if you can tolerate milk, you can also add milk, but just for mixing this levain or sourdough starter for the brownies. Otherwise, you don't use milk in your regular starter. Okay, so just to add some extra flavor. Okay. Cool. I have everything ready. So this is the starter. I mixed it at about 6 hours ago, something like that. And because already the temperatures are changing, you know, And the starter, as I told you, is a little bit temperature sensitive, and starters love a bit like 22, 23, 24 degrees. And now that the temperatures are getting lower because we are, well, autumn is here where I live, everything started to slow down a bit. So what I do then, let me show you. I pour some warm water in here, and then I place the jar inside the water. This is one option if you want to speed up the process a little bit, okay? So this is a good thing. Okay, I have the chocolate, lots of chocolate. Oh, I have lots of chocolate here. Oh, okay, cool. This time I'm using, the recipe calls for dark chocolate, but this time I'm going to use not that dark chocolate. That's why I will cut out the sugar that is otherwise added in the recipe. So I'm gonna use 400 grams of chocolate. That's a lot of chocolate, right? I have some pieces here that want to be used. Let me just weigh the ingredients. If you put a little bit more chocolate, okay, why not? That's I thought about it. So okay, a lot of chocolate. Has somebody already made sourdough brownies? Because all the flour that we're going to use is already here and it's fermented. And I prefer those recipes when you actually ferment the flour and not just the ones that you add sourdough just for the flavor. Then you don't get the benefits. The flavor you get, but not the fermentation. So my recipes are always written like that you ferment the better, either for pancakes or for waffles or for brownies, obviously. Okay, let me just add that in. Nice. Right. Up the temperature, a little bit more chocolate. Okay, Michael said that he bought a dry starter from Amazon, and after 2 days, following the instructions, it's not expanded volume at all and no obvious flours. Use filtered water and organic whole wheat flour. Okay, if the temperature is low where you live, perhaps just be patient. Okay, sometimes it takes longer. I know that my starter also have starter and that I ship. I don't really dry it. I prepare it in something like a semi-dried state, and it usually comes back to life. It depends, of course, where you live. I've shipped it also to New Zealand and Australia, but it came to life. So just be patient, okay? All right, so chocolate is melting. Then we also add, well, butter, because why not? Oh, you're in California. Okay, well, it depends where the starter has been shipped from. So sometimes it's just be patient, okay? I'll put this in. So I have fermented cultured butter. Go figure. It's made with from cream. It's as for the chocolate, it's a cooking chocolate, but it has 48% of cocoa mass and powder. So if I would use dark chocolate, I would add 100 grams of brown sugar, but now that all the sugar is already inside, so I'm not going to add any more. Hope that's nice. cultured butter is truly something you should try. If you have kefir grains, for example, Kefirko also has kefir grains, right? You can put those kefir grains into heavy cream and let it ferment. Perhaps it depends. You will see on the structure, but usually it takes about, I don't know, up to 12, 16 hours at room temperature. And then you strain it and then you make butter with it. So try it. I love cultured butter. It goes so well with sourdough bread. Oh, the chocolate is melting. Okay. And let me add the butter. Actually, it's a super easy recipe. And as we talked before with 250 grams, but you will get the recipe, so don't worry. Previously, we talked with Urshka that I'm going to eat the whole cake again alone, but I'm going to share it with my neighbors, but not tonight, but tomorrow. So yeah, 250 grams of butter is the good measure. Okay. If you have some more questions, drop them in the comments. So, yeah, chocolate is melting. I've preheated the oven. Yum. At about 180 degrees Celsius or 356 degrees Fahrenheit. You preheat the oven. In the recipes on my website, I also use the Fahrenheit, and of course in the courses as well. Yeah. Okay. That's a lot of chocolate, but if we want really chocolatey brownies, we need to add a lot of chocolate. Well, but in the meantime, we shall prepare the other ingredients. We need 4 eggs, but if you have only 3, that's fine too. I just realized I have only 3, so this is called improvisation when baking, and if there's a lot of chocolate, not much can go wrong, and a lot of sourdough. Because in the morning I ate 1 egg and I obviously forgot. Okay. Don't forget to mix from time to time. So butter and chocolate melt together. Yummy. Okay, so into this eggs we add a pinch of salt, because salt always elevates the flavor. So that's why I also use it always in sweet dishes as well. So not just salty dishes, but also sweet ones. Plus a bit of vanilla extract. Or a bit more. Yep. There's never enough vanilla. Yum. Slowly getting there. I'll send you the picture when it's done. Cool. Use a whisk. Whisk everything together. Oh yeah, you also need a bit of cocoa powder. And I'll try the black one that we used for decorating the last time. Oh, I think it's gonna be amazing. So 40 grams of cocoa powder or cacao. It truly is dark, and it will make some dark, really dark brownies. All right. A bit more. So I also use sourdough if I'm making like also for pudding. You can use it to thicken the pudding or to make the pudding with your sourdough starter. Just make sure it's really nicely fermented, so the gluten, like this one, the gluten is almost completely degraded. Okay, that in that way you will be able to mix it really well. When I make a pudding, I take a few tablespoons of milk and mix it with starter. I do it by the eye. So I do it by the eye, and then I pour that back inside of the pudding. I make my own puddings with real chocolate and with vanilla. And I use sourdough to really get a nice consistency, because for thickening you need starches. We are getting there. Okay, just a little bit more. And I will add, you can add some chopped either walnuts or hazelnuts on top. So I'm going to use some walnuts from my mommy. You could use, I mean, it's not necessary, but you can do that. I think nuts go so well with brownies. Cool. Just chop them a little bit. All right. Almost there. Chop them a bit coarsely. I keep my walnuts in the freezer so they don't get rancid. And then I just take them out when I need them. Also, if you store grain, if you mill it at home, you can of course store the grains also in the freezer, just to prevent some live organisms from growing in them. And you can also freeze the grains before you mill them, so that they don't overheat. All right. Any other questions? Something you've always wanted to know about sourdough, or have we covered them all in these 3-4 sessions? Make sure that your bain-marie isn't too hot. Ooh, ice. Okay, the chocolate is nicely melted. And also make sure that no water gets inside the chocolate, because, well, you will get like a chunky chocolate. Nice. Right. Just make sure that all the butter is melted. And I'll leave this a little bit aside, so I chop the walnuts, because you should not pour a too hot chocolate into the eggs, otherwise they will curd. All right. Someone asked about focaccia. You can find a recipe for focaccia also on my website, so you can check it there. Okay, let's see. Sharon makes kefir as well. How far apart do you keep your sourdough sort and the kefir ferment? Oh, good question. So, I keep them in the fridge, so I don't really separate them. And so far, it has been going really well. Everything bubbles. I mean, I have a milk kefir at home, so no crossbreeding or such things, so that's okay. So Marco asked, can we add starter in hot chocolate? Well, we can, and I will post a recipe on my website pretty soon. It's also available in my online membership, Sourdough Mania family, but yeah, I'm gonna post the recipe. So yeah, you can use it in hot chocolate. It's so good. So basically everywhere when you want to thicken something, you can use sourdough. And I call it sour-tastic chocolate. So it's I think it's my invention. I haven't seen anyone else doing a sourdough chocolate, so yeah, definitely a recipe is coming up. I've been doing that for, I don't know, 2 years, making the sourdough chocolate, sour-tastic chocolate, by the way. Yeah. So yeah, it's a great way to use sourdough besides baking. I think that's in. Okay, cool. That's enough. Oh, hey, cool. So let me check. We have added everything. Okay. Let's add other ingredients. So when the chocolate has cooled down a little bit, you can add it to the egg mixture, but don't add everything at once. Add it gradually. Mm. Mm. So who's coming over for some chocolate brownies? Because, oh my gosh. Yum yum. All right. Yes. So the final ingredient is the sourdough starter. Bubbly and well fermented. Mm. And so fluffy. Mm. Mm. By the way, today I've noticed this spoon is so great because when I fed the starter, I used the handle and I cleaned all the sides, and then you can see so well when the starter rises. Okay. So this time I'm going to use all the starter because I have some more starter in the fridge. Okay. And because this one contains also a little bit of milk. So that's why I'm going to use it all. And the brownies. Just make sure that the starter is well fermented. It can also start to deflate a little bit. As for the amount of starter, let me just calculate everything together. It's 260 grams. But worry not, you will get the recipe. Okay. Okay, that's it. Now let's mix this together. It's like almost one bowl sweet. You don't need much. Just make sure everything is well incorporated and that you get a nice mixture. Nice. I will show you the texture. Nice. Like this. So the starter should be well incorporated into the mixture, so everything is cool. Let me know that I'm not the only one who tastes better before it's baked, or dough, or starter. Someone else on the same wagon? Cool. Yeah, it's more than enough sweet, so that's why I did not add the amount of sugar the recipe called for. This one too small. I always forget which baking tin I have. One cool trick if you want your parchment paper to fit your baking tin is to put it under water. Then you squeeze and you line the baking tin with. This. Now we're gonna add the batter. We just show so you're a bit closer. So This is how it looks. Nice and buttery. There you go. Okay, that's it. Yeah, delicious. Now, you need to do that, okay, to remove any bubbles. So I'll just mute myself a little bit. And I'm gonna also use some toothpick to pop the bubbles. All right, that's it. Now add the chopped walnuts or hazelnuts or almonds, whatever you prefer. Make sure you cover everything. Cool. The oven is already hot. Just make sure that you don't over bake. So I would say like 23 to 25 minutes at 180 degrees Fahrenheit, Celsius, sorry. I think it was 350 something Fahrenheit. Cool. I will set the timer. And into the oven you go. All right. So, can you mix the nuts in the mixture? Yeah, you can. I usually add them on top because it looks so nice once it's baked. That's why I put it on top. But you can definitely mix inside. You can also mix inside some, chocolate drops. That's also possible. Or dried fruit or whatever. Have you tried it with banana? I haven't tried it. I make sourdough banana bread, also gluten-free, but I haven't tried it yet. Was sugar also added in starter? No, there was no sugar in the starter. I just used milk instead of water because the recipe calls for water, but I wanted more flavor. That's why I added milk. And you get really nice flavor if you add milk. So, but no sugar. There are also naturally present sugar in milk and also in flour. Right. I'm not sure I will be able to resist once this is baked. So help me out. mm. Okay, now we still have some time. Oh, cool question. Did I use full fat or skimmed milk? When I bake, I go all in. And in life too. So full fat for me. I mean, you can also use skim milk if you want to, but I use everything full fat. I'm not afraid of fat, and so I use full fat milk, full fat cocoa powder, full fat yogurt, and so on. Oh yeah, but good question, thank you. Any other questions? Let me know. I haven't tried a vegan version yet of brownies, so well, perhaps you could use, instead of eggs, you could perhaps mix linseed, ground milk, linseed, and then use that. And perhaps I would then add a little bit of baking powder, not baking powder, soda. How do I make pastries with sourdough? Okay, so there are two ways. You can use like regular sourdough, but it really needs to be in good shape. So the acidity levels need to be optimum for sweet baking. Another one, which is actually my favorite way to use this, is using the sweet stiff starter. Let me show you. The picture is either in this book. No, actually it's not in this one, it's in my second one. So let me just find the book, because I have a really nice oh, here you are, a really nice picture of the sweet starter. So how I make the sweet starter is I make a starter like dough, in dough-like structure, consistency, which means I lower the water content to about 40 to 50%, and then I add about 25% of sugar, which I dissolve in water, and then I add flour and of course starter, and you get a dough-like consistency, and then you get the most amazing gluten structure. It takes a little bit longer for the sweet stiff starter to rise, because the microorganisms are first a little bit resistant to the sugar, but once they get used to it, they're like on steroids. And I call this sweet stiff starter like a Ferrari among sourdoughs. Let me see. Check this. I think that's one of the most beautiful pictures ever. So this is the structure of the sweet stiff starter that I use for pastries. And it's like, I never get tired of it. So this is how you make it. So flour, water, sourdough, sugar. Okay, cool. Another question. So in what case I throw my starter away? Starter that's not for use. So I would do that basically only in one case, if mold forms on top of the sourdough starter. So if the mold is like grayish, pinkish, grayish, pinkish, other different colors of the starter, then I will definitely throw it away. Usually I have a separate sweet stiff sourdough starter in my fridge. It's very patient, let's put it that way. It doesn't get sour that often. So you can have it, of course, in the fridge, and then if you don't use it for a while, I don't know, like 3 weeks or so, you can then give it a bath, which means that you cut the sourdough starter in pieces, and then you just wash it in room temperature water, and then you feed it with sugar, water, and flour, and of course, then you keep it going. So this is one option that you don't need to make it every time anew. Yeah, but during this summer, I didn't keep the sweet stiff starter because I devoted my summer to testing gluten-free recipes. That's why there isn't one. Why do you need to wash the sourdough starter? Because if you don't use your starter for a long time, acids will form, and some of those acids are water soluble. That's why we wash it in the water to remove those surplus of acids. I keep my starter in a jar because it's like a dough consistency, and I don't wrap it. Okay, would you please repeat how to do when the starter is in the fridge? How often would you feed it? How long before baking? How long before baking would you take it out, and how often feed it then at room temperature? Okay, so that is my question for you now, for those of you who were present at the first seminar. So, how often would you feed your starter if it's in the fridge? My question to you. I'm eagerly awaiting your answers, and then I will add if something needs to be added. Okay, keep the answers coming. So I don't feed it if I bake once a week in the fridge, which means I just take it out before I want to mix the dough, like 4 to 6 hours, and then I take it out and then I feed it. If, for example, you don't have to feed the starter all the time if you don't bake with it, just leave it in the fridge, okay? It will patiently wait for you there. So make yourself like a schedule, okay? And think in advance. This technique will also help you in your everyday life. So I don't perform feedings if I don't bake. I just check the starter. Perhaps if I haven't baked with it for like two weeks, for example, okay? So then I would do the SOS step, okay, if it smells super sourish. Now, what is the SOS step? Let me know. Do you remember? What is the SOS step? If the starter gets sourish, because if the starter gets sourish, then it's inactive. The acids, the lactic acid bacteria has ran crazy and it has produced a lot of acids, and if the environment is too acidic, the wild yeast can't produce carbon dioxide, and we want carbon dioxide and we want wild yeast, because if these microorganisms aren't present, your dough won't rise, and we need like a balance between those microorganisms, between the acids, so the wild yeast can perform their task, so produce a lot of carbon dioxide. So what do we do when the starter gets acidic? Yay, yay, yay. Okay, so we take a teaspoon of the acidic starter, exactly, and feed it with flour and water to make a new starter. Yeah, to revive it, to multiply it, to so we can then, when it gets active, we smell it again. If we haven't baked with it for a long time, like perhaps a month or two, perhaps we need to repeat the step, okay? So it will get back, but it will get back to life. Just be patient. Patience is a true virtue, not only when it comes to sourdough baking. Okay, cool. Thank you. The answer is correct. Okay, what to do when you want to use different flour for baking than what you've used for starter? That's no problem. It's like I like to say it. You use one flour for feeding the starter, but one starter to rule them all. Do we have any fans of Lord of the Rings here? So one to rule them all. Okay. Let me just check what's going on in the oven. Lovely, lovely, lovely. Looking good. It has risen a little bit. That's because also this dark chocolate powder, cocoa powder, is a little bit also like it's a special process. It's alkanized, I think. So it also reacts a little bit with sourdough, and it will rise a little. And of course, there are eggs inside. Eggs help the batter to rise. When I've tested some recipes, I also added a little bit of of baking soda. No, of soda. Yeah, baking soda. But then one day I just left it out, and then it was fine as well. Okay. How long do you let the starter and flour ferment for sweet baking? You mean the starter I made for the brownies? If that is the question, I've let the batter outside, I mean the starter and flour, for about 6 hours, something like that. But the last 2 hours, I helped a little bit by putting the starter jar into the warm water, because the starter was a little bit slow, so that's why I used a bit of warm water. Okay, another question. Would there be anything wrong with adding lemon to the sourdough batter? I would need a little bit more information. Would you like to flavor the sourdough batter with lemon, or would you like to acidify it? So that is my question. So I can provide some more just for flavor, for making like lemon brownies or something like that. I mean, yeah, you could add lemon. I would add grated lemon. That's nice. Or you can also add a little bit of lemon juice to it. Yeah, you can also do that. Oh my god, I need to make some lemon sourdough cake. Yes, that would be really cool to do. Like a pound cake, but with lemon flavor and sourdough. And some lemon icing on top. Yeah, for my next recipe, or perhaps even a gluten-free version. So because I'm so much applying to the gluten-free because tomorrow we have a gluten-free starter session, for example. So yeah, gluten-free starter for tomorrow. Okay, can you do thin sheet pasta with sourdough like filo or for brick? Well, you can do that. Yes, I do like filo pastry for strudel, something you can do. You just need to leave it to stand a little bit at room temperature, and then you just spread it out, something like that. Okay, another question. What do you do if you're too late and the starter becomes liquidish? Okay, do you use less of it for the dough, or what do you do? Yes, this is something also we talked on the first session, or was it on the second? But you use then less starter. It also depends how late you are. Okay, if you're like 1 hour or 2 hour late, it would still be okay. Okay, if you're like 8 hours late or 9 hours late, then I would use really small amount of that starter. Otherwise, the dough will be acidic if you use a lot of acidic starter, and it won't rise that well. Yep. Okay. That's fine too if you have no interest in gluten-free. You will still get the recording, so you can, in case the interest comes up, you can still watch it later, right? Okay. I mean, gluten-free is a nice, if you aren't able to ingest gluten, or you don't want to ingest gluten, then gluten-free sourdough can be truly a game changer. Because usually the regular gluten-free bread is like not very tasty, and it has like a huge amount of different ingredients inside. So that's why I suggest make real sourdough with real ingredients at home. So who's eager to see the pictures of the baked sourdough brownies? Let me know, and then this will be our last question or your replies. Let me just check it once more. Oh yeah, okay, I'm gonna show you. Me, yeah. Okay, let's see. Okay, come camera, cooperate with me. I have a really nice camera. Just sometimes it stops working. No. Let me check. Oh my god, it smells so chocolatey. Okay, so a few more minutes. Yes, okay, you can definitely smell them. Cool. Is it possible to make something more of a fluffy-like thing out of sourdough? Of course it's possible. Everything is possible. I've made the fluffiest patita, because I know you're Slovenian, and some amazing fluffy donuts. By the way, the recipe for sourdough donuts is also on my website, so have a look, sourdoughmania.com. And the recipe for brownies is also going to be posted on the Kefirko.com website, so check it out. And have a wonderful, let me see if there's some more questions. Okay. Oh, cool. Thank you so much for your feedback. I love reading the comments, and I love reading your feedback. So thank you so much. It means the world to me, because let's make the world a better place, and let's ferment it too. Thank you very much, and have a lovely evening or day or afternoon, wherever you are. And tomorrow we meet again for the last time, or not. Who knows? Let me just check. Okay. Thank you. Bye-bye.